Welcome to Decoded, the podcast where we break down the complex technologies shaping our future. I'm Alex, and I tend to look at how these new trends impact business and the economy. And I'm Ben. I'm just fascinated by the underlying tech and the big philosophical ideas behind it. Today we're tackling a massive one, the Web3 economy. We hear the term all the time, but what does it actually mean? It's a great question because to understand where we're going, we have to be honest about where we are. We live in the era of Web2. The internet is social, it's interactive, and it's controlled by a handful of giants.
Right. Think of Web2 as a bustling digital city. It's vibrant, you can do almost anything, but the city's entire infrastructure, the roads, the buildings, the laws, is owned by a few powerful landlords, like Google, Meta, and Amazon.
Exactly.
We get to live and work there for free, but the price we pay is our data. They're monitoring everything we do.
That's the attention economy in a nutshell. Our personal information has become the most valuable asset.
Right.
And we've been giving it away. I mean, a recent report even highlighted that 96% of iPhone users chose to block app tracking. Where Apple finally gave them an easy choice. People want their privacy back.
And that is the promise of Web3. It's a fundamental shift from an internet we just use to an internet we can own. The model goes from read-write in Web2 to read-write-own in Web3.
Okay, ownership is the magic word. So, Ben, how does that work technically? How do you build an internet that no one owns, or rather, that everyone owns?
It's built on a technology called blockchain. So the best analogy is a shared digital notebook. Imagine a notebook that's copied across thousands of computers around the world.
Okay.
Every transaction is a new entry. To add a page, the entire network has to agree it's valid. And once a page is in, it can never be ripped out or scribbled over. It's transparent and tamper-proof.
And because it's shared and verified by the community, you don't need a central authority like a bank or a tech company to act as the gatekeeper.
Exactly. And on top of this blockchain, you can run what are called smart contracts. Forget the legal jargon. A smart contract is just like a digital vending machine. You put in the required crypto, and the code automatically gives you the product.
Right.
Whether that's a piece of digital art or access to a service, it's an agreement that enforces itself.
I see. So this foundation, the blockchain and smart contracts, is enabling entirely new economic models. Let's talk about the biggest one, DeFi.
DeFi, or decentralized finance, is one of the most powerful examples. It's aiming to rebuild the entire global financial system, lending, borrowing, trading.
Wow.
But without the traditional intermediaries. It's finance that is open, automated, and not controlled by Wall Street. And the numbers are staggering. The Web3 market, largely driven by DeFi and other applications, was valued at over $2 billion in 2023 and is projected to hit over $33 billion by 2030. This isn't a niche hobby anymore. But let's bring it back to something more relatable. How does this change things for, say, a musician or an online artist? This is my favorite part because it's about empowering creators. In Web2, an artist on a platform like Spotify or Instagram is at the mercy of the platform's algorithm and its revenue model, often getting just a tiny fraction of the value they create. In Web3, they can use NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, to flip that model. An NFT is just a unique, verifiable proof of ownership for a digital item, a song, a piece of art, even a ticket. So the artist can sell their work directly to their community. And because of smart contracts, they can even program in royalties. So they automatically get a cut every single time that piece of art is resold in the future. That's impossible in the traditional art world. It's a direct line between the creator and their audience.
So we have a new financial system with DeFi, a new model for creators with NFTs. What about how we organize ourselves? Do companies look different in Web3?
They can. We're seeing the rise of DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations.
DAOs.
Think of them as internet-native collectives that are owned and governed by their members. Decisions aren't made by a CEO. They're made by community members voting on proposals. It's an experiment in digital democracy.
This all paints a very optimistic picture, a more democratic, transparent, creator-focused internet. But we have to ground this in reality. The reason most of us aren't using Web3 apps every day is because, frankly, it's difficult.
You've hit on the biggest challenge, user experience. Right now, it often involves managing complex digital wallets and passwords called keys.
Yeah.
It's not seamless. Getting that experience right is the #1 priority for developers right now.
And beyond usability, there are other major hurdles. Blockchains can be slow and expensive to use.
Right.
You hear about gas fees on Ethereum, which are basically transaction costs. And then there's the Wild West element, the scams, the hacks, and the lack of clear regulations from governments.
Those are all very real growing pains. It's helpful to think of Web3 as being in its dial-up phase. The potential is there, but the infrastructure and user friendliness are still being built. But solutions are emerging fast to make it cheaper, faster, and safer.
So to bring it all together, the Web3 economy is a bold attempt to rebuild the internet's foundations. It challenges the data-hungry monopolies of Web2 by using blockchain to create a system built on user ownership.
And it's unlocking new possibilities. Finance without banks, art without galleries, and organizations without hierarchies. The path to mass adoption is steep, but the vision of a more equitable digital world is what's driving this incredible wave of innovation.
It's a vision that's hard to ignore. Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If you could truly own a piece of the internet, whether it's your data, your social profile, or your contributions to a platform, what would that mean to you, and what would you want to do with it?